Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I want to run something by you guys real quick. I just realized that the resolution that I've been playing the game at might have been making things more difficult for me. Now, here's the thing. I've been running on 3440 by 1440 for a long time now, because frankly, my new monitor can support a much greater resolution than it used to be able to. Well, than my old monitor, I should say. But I've recently come upon the idea that, like, if you can't see what's going on here, like, there's supposed to be another option way down here, and you can barely see the top pixels of the word quit down there. But that's supposed to be clearly visible. So here's the option I've been having. I like the resolution where it's at, but with this resolution, everything is clearly visible. My only issue is that now we've got the bars on the sides that kind of limit visibility a little bit. I guess I shouldn't say it's limiting visibility. What it's doing is it's kind of creating it's basically the blank space that isn't getting used on my monitor. So here's what it looks like that, and it's using all the space on my monitor now, at least sideways. But now you'll see that it's cutting things off at the top and bottom, because for some reason it's extending past the border of my monitor. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this run at the slightly lower resolution rate, and we're going to try it, and we're going to see what we think of it. And if you guys prefer the way that this resolution looks, I will stick with it. If you do like the way that it looks... oh, no, if you like the way it looks, I'll stick with it. If you don't, or you think that, the game not filling up the entire screen feels weird, then we'll back it up. And this, to me, is making quite a bit of difference, because it's making me think, okay, I keep having these issues where I get hornswoggled by off-screen enemy attacks. Will that cease to be a problem with the way things are now, or will I still end up having to deal with it? So I'm going to try this, because I would like to know for certain whether it's just me or if there really is an issue. And then we will get back to things. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to know if you think this resolution is better, or if I should stay with the way I've been running. Alright, let's actually go ahead and build a run now. Now that I've spent so much time just going, okay, listen to this, babba dabba 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 doo. Alright, so I don't know. Do I want to run a high tempo build? Do I have something else that I would rather run? I don't know, I'm kind of unsure. I think yesterday I ran kind of a balanced movement-based run. Pardon me. I think today... What do I want to run today? That's the thing, I don't even know what I wanted to run today. I spent all day at work, got home, got pissed off about the Sniper Wolf situation, then I came on here to record a video while still editing the bigger video that I'm working on. I just don't want to leave you guys high and dry. And now I don't even know what sort of build I want to do. Christ, I am just a flurry of negative energy right now. I'm all pent up. I don't know what to do with all of it. That's right, Bird. I have no idea what I want to do with all of it. You are still adorable, though, and I love you. Okay, I think we stick with this. Or no. Nope. Nope, I can't for the life of me figure out what I want to do. You know what? Let's figure it out by reverse engineering the run. Let's look at the signatures and see if there's one that I'd really like to try running with. This will help me decide what sort of build I want to make. As far as the Sniper Wolf situation is concerned, Look, I'm not going to say that I don't care, because the fact of the matter is I actually care quite immensely. Because what's going on is setting such a bad precedent for literally everybody. But I just don't want to talk about it right now. Would you guys be in favor of me making a video talking about that? Let me know what you think. I'm on the fence. I'm at this point now where I'm just looking at the whole thing going, this is heavily infuriating, but I don't know if I really want to discuss it. So, yeah, there's lots of channels out there discussing it. I'm pretty sure my voice would get lost in the sauce, but still willing to talk about it because it is absolutely infuriating and needs to be talked about. But I don't think I'm going to do that today. If you guys want me to talk about it, I'll do it in another video. Maybe at that point some other developments will have come about, and you never know. You never know. That is kind of the idea of the day. You just never know what's going to happen. Alright. So, I think the build we're going for is the Spray of Random Crap build. And I think we're even going to double down on that by taking Bubble Blast. And is there a basic? I mean, Stone Shot, yes, but you know what? Screw it. Let's just go for it. Let's see what happens. Spray of Random Crap. And in order to keep spraying random crap, I am going to stick with this robe. I don't know if I want to run Power or Critical for this, or if I want to run something completely different. I think I'm going to do what I usually do when I can't decide. And we're going to take the Captain's Ring. So now we're an indecisive captain. God help us all. Nope. So outside of the YouTube Sniper Wolf thing, was there something else that I wanted to talk about? Actually, yes. Like, I'm not just leaving you guys in a weird position where I'm going, I don't have anything, it's your fault. Oh, and before we get into the run, I almost forgot. That is jazz soundtrack again. Okay, well, just leave it as it is. So how do I feel about this Bubble Blast? Honestly, not good, but I wanted to run something a little different. So what was it that I actually wanted to talk about? Well, it's an interesting thing that I started the video by talking about my resolution settings, because I had just recently come across an article talking about the resurrection of pixel graphics in video games. Which, yeah, for a while it seemed like pixel graphics were the thing that every developer was trying to avoid. They would look at, the games that had been developed, back in the days before anyone cared about graphics settings, and they looked at it and said,
We should really update this because we can do better now.
Which, in a sense, yes, but also in a sense, I think a lot of modern development teams have become overly reliant on the ability to make very realistic graphics. Like, to the point where they don't really do anything with it. It's just... It's just there, it's just an expectation just for the sake of it, basically. Okay, you need to go away. Okay, I'm getting tired of this stupid Earth Stomp agent. Oh my god. And that's not to say that, you know, that modern games are you know, bad for having good... Well, I'm not even gonna say good, I'm just gonna say, you know, intense graphics. And if the game you want to make is best displayed using cutting-edge graphic technology, then, you know, whatever. Who am I to tell you how to make your game, but... What I am saying, though, is that if there's been a revival in pixel graphics, it's for a number of reasons, but the reason that stands out the most to me is mostly because trying to get... What is this? Spiraling Typhoon. You know what? Sure. Plus, it powers up my Captain's Ring. I kind of feel like I should be running Scales of Babylon instead. No, this'll work. Plus, it's a freebie. I'm never against having a freebie. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just take Scales of Babylon also. Scales of Babylon additionally. And I will determine what else even works out well with this build. Pop-up primer, yay, I don't even want it. Oh, thanks up button. That's exactly what I wanted. Oh, we have things here that I like. We have multiple things here that I like. Okay, well, let's start by grabbing probably the most important of them and improving my critical hit rate. I lost my train of thoughts a little while ago. Let me get back to what I was saying. If there's if there's a good reason to not use modern graphical prowess, it is because a lot of developers are having a hard time affording to do so. And you keep hearing it all the time as the reason why games have to be so intensely monetized is because, oh, we can't afford to keep making games the way we are. It costs so much to make games nowadays. And it leaves me thinking, well, maybe if you didn't insist on you know, rendering and shading every single little pore of someone's skin, or making sure everyone's like left eyelash is perfectly tweaked and designed that way, maybe you'd have a little bit more money to afford some shit. Because as much as a lot of people don't really want to hear it, it wasn't gamers who decided that everything needs to be detailed and rendered down to the last pimple, pore, eyelash, and pubic hair. That was not the decision from the general gaming public. That was the decision made by publishers and developers who said, yeah, we can make more money doing this. Let's see, who am I going up against? Alright, so I guess for Windy Nuts, I'll make sure I have this. Well, no, because I'm gonna come back to that. Oh, god damn it. There's never enough money! And I don't want to be reminded of real life. But feeling this need to have essentially the money on screen is kind of the problem that we're having. Because games are as expensive as they are because there's no one saying, hey, maybe we should scale it back a little bit. No, everyone is well, I should say, everyone within a certain space is saying that they want everything to be even more hyper-realistic. And the rest of us are going, we just want a fun game to play. You know, spend some of that money focusing on the story. Spend some of that money focusing on improving the gameplay. Make a little bit more content. And then publishers are like, so another live service Skinner box? Got it. And the rest of us are just going like, no, fuck off. Oh, they'll make sure they render every last little ridge on the firearm that you're holding. But I'll be damned if they make it so that you have more than 3 enemy types in a game. Thank you, Scales of Babylon. And I say no thank you to you. Alright, so now instead of... What is this? Is this Spiraling Typhoon? Okay. I was gonna call it Furious Tempest, and then I was like, no, I know that's not right. Now, let's start by saying that if the game is designed to take advantage of that graphical fidelity, that's one thing. Like, obviously, with Baldur's Gate 3, Larian was determined to use that processing power to make the game of their dreams, and they wanted to put in the effort. Or like with Armored Core 6 or Elden Ring, they very much wanted to bring a world to life, either a fantasy world in desperate need of essentially repair, or a futuristic world in which you get to stomp around in a robot the size of a skyscraper. And that's all well and good. I can understand if the game you're designing is meant to take advantage of that, but if you're designing a game with that level of graphical fidelity because essentially obligation, now we have a whole nother problem. And that's a whole nother deal, and no, not every game should be designed with that level of graphical fidelity in mind. Okay, that was stressful. Okay, multiple rooms in a row with 3 waves of all wind-based enemies. I feel like they're trying to get me to lose due to an aneurysm. Well, we take this because that's all part of the Hunter's Satchel. And it just now occurs to me that I could have had the unicorn disguise. But honestly, that's not a big deal. And we will take this because I have multiple things that lay shock. It just seems like a good idea. What do we have here? Oh, perfect. Shit, so what do I want? The Crimson Clover or the Volatile Gemstone? Like, as much as I love the Perfect Time Crystal, I really think I would get more out of the Crimson Clover. Because everything I have is multiple hits. Yeah, I'm taking the Crimson Clover. Alright, starting to feel kind of strong now. But the other thing about graphical fidelity is that trying to stay on the cutting edge of that, ironically, has an odd effect on your games, where, well, on games in general, I guess not your games, you guys aren't necessarily developing a game, and if you are, please let me know so I can eventually support your work, thank you. But what I'm getting at is that by trying to maintain this cutting edge of graphical technology, first of all, it's made it so that GPUs are now the most expensive part of a computer, like bar none. Like, you'd think you'd want to spend more time focusing on, you know, processing power, but no, apparently we just have to make all the pixels look prettier. So what you end up getting is this self-fulfilling prophecy of we need to keep improving the graphics, so we're going to spend all of our research time on making better GPUs. And then the better GPUs are more expensive, so they have to, you know, recoup the costs somehow. And it just keeps going in a circle like that of games need to have better graphics. Better graphics cost more money. We need to charge more money for games. And that of course leads into all right, now that we're charging more money for games, we can make games with better graphics. And then it just goes over and over again. Over and over and over. It's getting a little tiring, so yeah, it's no wonder that so many games are being made using older game techniques. Pixel art, lower polygon counts, because at this point we've kind of explored everything we can do with graphics. Now we need to start putting processing power to work doing something other than making things look shinier and more realistic. We definitely want that. And it's very possible that you guys have heard me bang on this drum before, but I think it's worth bringing up because all the time you keep hearing about how game development has gotten so expensive, but it wasn't at our hands that games have been made more expensive. It was not by our hands that the GTX 4090 was given flesh. Alright, I want both. Do I want to even deal with Nocturne? Honestly, I think I have what I like out of this build. I like what I'm working with. Oh, I didn't realize how low I was on health. Crap. Alright, well, that run didn't go as... Yeah, look at that! The run was really strong, too. Ugh, I'm upset with myself. I'm gonna have to... repent for my sins after this one, but... You get the idea. Games are being... The development time, the amount of money spent is being blown up because we want to render everything hyper-realistically. And when you do that, ironically, what happens is that your game looks dated because, yeah, you're using the most current graphical tech, but of course the most current graphical tech keeps changing. In the meantime, games like this, like Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island... Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Final Fantasy VI. All of those games look perfectly fine then, and they look perfectly fine now. So, just a thought, maybe it's time to hang up this idea of always wanting to be on the cutting edge of graphics and start putting that processing power towards something else. That's my 2 cents. And now I need to go repent for my sins for having lost an easy win run. I'm just as embarrassed about this as I'm pretty sure you guys are. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your continued support and spending some of your free time here with me today. I hope you have a fantastic day or night wherever you may happen to be, and I will catch you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and you take care, everybody.